So I have been using the Darmoshark M3s and M3s Pro Varun back and forth for over a year already, and in this video I will share my thoughts on it and if you should grab one for yourself or not. Both of these devices were sent out to me for free by Darmoshark Levi from Twitter. It was not due to send me a review unit, it was due to their community poll where they asked people to find a name for their mices. And they have chosen my idea, which was Varun. It came out of nowhere. I didn't even know if that means anything, but after googling the name, it said the Varun means God of Water in Hindi. So I've used that. And they went with the idea. So after naming the M3s the Varun, they sent me one as a thank you gift. But apparently they have sent me the M3s. There was a whole debate going on because at the same time RØDE Gaming Gear, well-known peripheral retailer in the United States, were making their own mices called LA1, and the mice was made in the same factory as the Darmoshark mices are being produced. And it came out that the Darmoshark made a copy of the LA1, which a lot of people were saying this is a one-to-one copy of the LA1, and there was a lot of debate and drama with the launch of the Darmoshark M3s, which even I was included because at the time I had no idea of what is going on, and I was completely new to the peripheral scene. But I would love to still make a review on the M3s and M3s Pro because I want to give you my thoughts on these mices. If you end up buying the Darmoshark or if you want to buy the LA1, that's completely your choice. I don't want to accuse anyone of their doings. It is not my thing to deal with, but it is my job to explain to you the whole story. In my opinion, companies should not be making a copy of each other's products, and I would love not to see such a thing in the future. And I support RØDE Gaming Gear on their release of the LA1, and I have a huge hopes to them on their new release of the LA1 V2. And let's see what's in the box. So in the box you will find the braided USB-A to USB-C cable, as you can see. If you will be using it via that, it should not be pulling on your mice because the cable itself is nice and soft, so there wouldn't be much pull on it. There is also the Bluetooth dongle because this mice comes in 3 connection modes, so you can plug in your Bluetooth dongle inside of this plastic adapter, plug it to the USB-C, and on the bottom of the mice you can switch to the left to make it a Bluetooth connection. Also you have this door which you can open and you can store the dongle if you are like going somewhere and want to use it with the Bluetooth dongle. I would not suggest going to like LAN events with the Bluetooth dongle. I will bring myself the wireless dongle 2.4 GHz, which is like this one. But if you just want to go somewhere with your laptop and bring yourself a mice, this can be a bit helpful. There is also a pair of extra skates. These have a much smaller surface than the stock skates. As you can see, they were much bigger, and that's basically it. There is some manual, some sticker, and there is it for the accessories for the M3s. This is the M3s, and the gray one is the M3s Pro. Also in the box you could find a pair of grip tape that you could grip on the sides, on the mouse buttons and on the side buttons, but they were feeling cheap, so I've thrown them away because the grips were slippery and they didn't do the job, so I've changed them to the X-Ray Pad Cicada grips and they are much better. So basically the M3s, they wanted to produce a smaller lineup. Basically they wanted to make a smaller version of the Darmoshark M3, which is a huge mice to begin with. If you have big hands, that might be a good choice for you, but not for me with my 18 by 10 centimeter hand, which is just like that. So the M3s and M3s Pro is much for smaller to medium sized hands. And the shape, if you are looking for affordable final mouse shape in medium size, which like a infinitum mice back hump modification that you was able to do on older models of final mouse Starlight 12, this is the shape that we are looking at with the M3s. In comparison to my ULX Lion, the M3s is a 2mm longer and 1mm wider, with that higher back hump. That fills your inner part of your palm. But the back hump feels a bit higher, for example, than the Pulsar X2. Let me compare those. As you can see on the Pulsar X2, the back hump is much lower, so it gives you that less palm contact with the back hump. But the M3s Pro has a bit higher back hump, so it more fills the back of my palm. So when I grab it with my relaxed claw grip, it feels nice in my hand, but some people do not prefer this shape, so they are much more towards the Pulsar X2 as well as the Lemzo Atlantis, which feels also more bulky in my hand and feels much wider than the M3s. But both of these mices fit nice to the touch, so if you are like aggressively gripping your mice and you do not like the back of the hump touching your inner palm, this might not be comfortable for you. But as I said, I have no problems with it, gripping my M3s Pro with my relaxed claw grip. So I find that higher hump much nicer on the M3s. On the Final Mouse ULX, I felt that the lack of the back hump was not that comfortable for me, but it was still workable. These sides are curved, so you have a nice and secure grip, similar to the Final Mouse shape. Mouse buttons have those nice curves for your fingers to comfortably sit for almost any grip. Also, the size profile of the mouse buttons 1 and 2, they are not overhang like on the Final Mouse. So if you find a problem holding the Final Mouse with relaxed grip, the M3s gives you more space in front of the sides for your finger without you accidentally pressing on the side of the right button. This happened to me while I was using the Final Mouse Starlight 12. Basically, the overhang on the side of the mouse button on the Final Mouse, it was going to the side. So if I was holding it with my relaxed claw grip, I was basically holding down on the right mouse button. There is basically no coating at all. It feels similar to the Razer Viper V2 Pro kinda in my hand, but in a more smoother to the touch. I don't have any Razer mice to compare to those two at this point, but if you have soft, dry hands, it might feel slippery. So I use grip tape to get a better grip on these two mices, because even if I get sweaty hands while gaming, it was still feeling slippery and not secured. At least it is not a fingerprint magnet, so you don't have to clean it after every gaming session. Inside of the mice you will find a TTC Gold switches and TTC Gold VO encoder, 3395 sensor and a 500 mAh battery. The build quality of the M3s isn't the best, but it will last for a while if you will not be death gripping or slamming against your wall. There is a side flex on the side of the mice. Yeah, you can see. And it only happens when I like squeeze it a lot on the side. So if you are like death gripping in the front, you will notice it. But for me, when I'm using the M3s with my relaxed claw grip, I do not notice it, but it is something to mention. There is a very minimal post travel, almost unnoticeable on the mouse 1 and 2. But there is a slight pre-travel on the side buttons, especially on the mouse button 5, on the most forward button on the left side. As you can see, it kind of moves, wobbles a bit. The back side button is much firmer, feels a little bit better. But for using it, okay, I don't use it in games. I mostly use my side buttons for going forward or backwards in a browser when I'm surfing on the internet, so I do not use it in game. The scroll wheel has this nice rubber texturized ring, so it helps you from your finger slipping from while scrolling it up and down. The Scrovio encoder feels and performs fine, even after a longer period of use. Stock skates, I do not recommend using them, they feel cheap and slow, so I suggest you swapping them out for better ones. As you can see on the M3s, I'm using the ESP Tiger Ulanzi dot. The switches in the M3s feels lightweight and quite crispy with very minimal pre and post travel, but they kinda give that cheap feeling. It doesn't feel that crisp or smooth like my Alemzo Atlantis. The M3s is capable of 2000 Hz polling rate, comes with 3 modes of connectivity, wireless when you switch the mice to the right, and in the middle it's off, and when you switch it to the left, there is the Bluetooth connection. Also on the bottom you have the RPT switch to change the polling rate and the DPI button to change the DPI. And basically you can connect it wired with the USB-C connector. The M3s Pro completely changes everything that was wrong with the previous version of the M3s, and they have changed almost everything I have taught them. There is no side flags and the shell feels more robust. They are now using a Huano blue shell pink dot for the main switches, which feels much better compared to the TTC Gold switches. It comes with a 4K dongle that you need to buy separately. As you can see, this is the M3s, the 2K Hz polling rate dongle. They are kind of same looking, but the 4K dongle, you have to buy that separately. It comes in this box and it goes for like 20 euros, which is definitely not cheap. And it also comes with new colors. Coating remained the same, which is a shame that they did not upgrade the coating, but it is what it is. You can add some grips on it and it will feel much better for you. In the box you will find the same accessories that comes with the M3s. The only difference this time is that they are including grips in the color of the mice, at least in grade version. The black M3s came with black grips with some color design on it, but those grips were easy to get dirt, the gray ones. So even if I clean my hands probably from sweat, there was spot where I was gripping the mice, so I have to change them as well for these X-ray pad cicada grips. Left mouse button. There is a bit more pre-travel on the left mouse button, not much on the right button, but very minimal post-travel. Scrovio feels okay. They have used this much nicer and smoother Scrovio ring, which feels a bit more slippery. The M3s Pro comes in different colorways than the M3s. The left and right mouse buttons feels loud, a bit mushy, doesn't feel as crispy as I have on my Alemzo Atlantis, with the same Huano switches. The mouse forward button features similar pre-travel like on the M3s. So on my scale, the Darmoshark M3s weighs around 53 grams and the M3s Pro weighs around 54 grams. There can be like a 1 or 2 grams difference, but I think they are mentioning it on their website that both of these mice should be like a 55 grams. Let's do a sound test. So in conclusion, there isn't much for me to recommend for you on the M3s and M3s Pro. I will definitely not buy the M3s, that is just not worth the price, especially for the side flags. The M3s Pro is much more value, but for 70 euro plus 20 euro for the dongle, that's 90 euro total for a 4K wireless, kind of Starlight 12 medium copy. I think in my opinion there are way better and higher quality mices out there in this price range, unless you will find a desperate for the shape. I will suggest you finding some good deal on it and save a lot, because 90 euro in total, I will not recommend it to you. I think for up to 100 euro you can get Lamzo mices with 4K dongle in a sale if you find some good deal on it. There is the VXE R1, which you can buy in a lot of different versions for different price range and so on. Or you can buy at this time of recording this video the Little Gaming Gear LA1 that goes around 50 euro on MaxGaming if you don't mind the side flags. That will be much better grab than the Darmoshark M3s Pro. As me, for having both of these mices, I do not have a problem to switching to them. I can use them in my daily gaming kinda okay, but they are not my recommendation to you for what you can get on the market right now for this money. If I have missed anything or you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want more peripheral review videos to support my channel. If you think I did good on this video, please leave a like and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.